Yeah, cannabis users tend to run a little late, unless they're German. Being high is no excuse. All right, one more quick speech, and then we're going to get into a bunch of the panels. To discuss cannabis genetics as intellectual property, we have the COO and Executive Vice President for Operations and Supply Chain for the Aurora Corporation. Let's hear it for Alex Miller. There he is, Alex Miller, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Can I use the podium? You can.
All right. Next slide, please. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great. Oops, we've gone a little too far. Spoiler alert. Okay, today I'd like to share how Aurora's investment in science and genetics has been one of the enablers for us to deliver growth. 300% revenue growth in international GMP markets and positive adjusted EBITDA over the last 3 years. Sustainable, consistent growth. We've learned that genetics is the foundation for how everything else performs in the supply chain and with our patients globally. Of course, genetics, sorry, I'm seeing it. Okay. Can the tech guys help me get to the first slide, please?
Ich habe einen Schlüssel. I am checking to see. Oh. What do we need for this one? Great. Oh, there he is. How you doing, man?
Okay, great. Thank you. Sorry, I'm not seeing it on the monitor.
Bring up. Everybody walks on together. Yeah. I introduce you.
Okay. Of course, genetics is not a silver bullet. Growing revenue and profitability in sustainable ways requires a clear understanding of patient needs, building a robust end-to-end supply chain, understanding each market's regulatory requirements, and fostering great partnerships throughout your value chain. Today, I want to share how our genetic strategy has enabled us to deliver this growth with confidence globally and in Europe. Medical cannabis markets, especially GMP markets, require consistency, reliability if you want to grow sustainably. You need predictable quality, including potency. You need reliable supply, and you need the confidence and trust from regulators, physicians, and patients. In cannabis, variability at the plant level creates risk across the complete value chain, and it starts with genetics. This is Aurora Coast, located on beautiful Vancouver Island. It is where the magic, our science begins to enable our growth. Coast is a science and innovation hub, purpose-built to advance cannabis genetics with the same rigor applied to mature crops globally. It brings genetics, breeding, and applied science to develop cultivars that balance potency, yield, quality, disease resistance, and the attributes that our patients want. We've applied proven techniques and approaches that have been used in other crops for decades to drive our breeding program. Genetic marker-assisted selection allows us to be intentional about the traits we prioritize and efficient in breeding and bringing new products and cultivars to markets globally. Our science team works closely with our production and commercial teams to create a strong feedback loop that ensures our science goals are directly tied to what we need in the market and to our commercial objectives. The focus is turning scientific insights into breeding genetics that can be deployed in regulated markets. We breed new and novel cultivars, but always with commercial reality in mind. From the start, our genetics program has been designed to deliver high-quality flower at scale, consistent potency and yield, and disease resistance. This isn't about chasing one attribute. It's about building balanced genetics that deliver great results reliably across the supply chain that our patients love. So, if you're still following along, You might ask, how is this an enabler for our 3 years of growth and revenue? Our genetics developed at Coast have enabled a step change improvement in many, many areas. This graph, representing over 1,000 of real-world production batches, shows the step change between our new genetics and our beloved legacy genetics like Pink Kush and Dilla Haze. Potencies of our new genetics are consistently in the 30% range, and the yields are 40% plus higher than legacy genetics. But genetics don't operate on their own. They're just part of a reliable, efficient supply chain. To perform consistently at scale, we've paired with the right environment, the right processes, and a great team that is passionate about cultivational excellence. Our cultivation team is extremely passionate about great cannabis. We've demonstrated that by combining science with OG insights equals amazing results and great product. In addition to our genetics, we've made investments in LED lighting, irrigation, and post-harvest processes with the same level of rigor that we do in our science program. We've standardized our cultivation infrastructure across our network to enable cross-site collaboration, continuous improvement, and easier commercialization of genetics from Coast. The result of the last 5 years of focused investments, we've doubled the output of our facilities with no increase in canopy space. And we've also significantly reduced the variability, which helps us in GMP-regulated markets. These yield improvements have been critical for the revenue growth, and they've also significantly lowered our cost of goods, which results in better margins and has supported our growth story. At Aurora, we have a hybrid supply chain. We grow and manufacture our own products, we contract grow our genetics with partners, and we purchase third-party products. The diversity of our supply chain allows us to be capital efficient, flexible, and adaptable across the global markets we participate in. It also gives us data-driven, real-world insight into how our Aurora indoor systems compare to greenhouse facilities and hybrid facilities. The conclusion, our indoor cultivation is very competitive for high-quality GMP flower when paired with our genetics and when the total end-to-end cost of supply chain are in consideration, even in a high-cost location. So for example, here in Germany, last year we decided to invest in our Leuna facility and upgrade it to incorporate all of the insights and standard infrastructure we built in Canada. With these upgrades and our genetics, we will produce at a cost that's competitive in the German market, despite energy that's 3 times higher than Canada and labor rates that are double. We're super excited to be launching cultivated in Germany, high potency, high quality cultivars that we believe will compete with the best we produce in Canada. The success story in Germany starts with our purpose-built genetics, designed to deliver consistent quality, including high potency, reliable high yields, and predictable outcomes. At Aurora, genetics isn't just an operational input, it's a strategic asset. Our IP-protected cultivars allow us to safeguard years of scientific investment and positions our genetics as a long-term growth enabler, not a short-term advantage. Now, imagine if you could take all the attributes I've described, high potency, amazing yields, consistent quality, great bag appeal, and all the attributes patients love, and combine it with disease resistance. As you know, powdery mildew is a fungal disease that's pervasive in cannabis. While rarely catastrophic, it adds cost and complexity to manage, resulting in reduced yields and potency as the plant spends energy to fight the infection. Through our research, our science team has developed a novel source of PM resistance. We've protected this IP trait in breeding for cannabis and now have a set of attributes that are inherently resistant even when exposed to significant amounts of PM. In this photo on this slide, you will see how effective our PM resistance is in a controlled experiment. For those in the room that aren't cultivators, the leaves that are white, that is severe powdery mildew contamination. The leaves that are green, that's our IP-protected cultivars. These have left the lab in Coast. We've now completed commercial scale trials, and we're preparing commercialization of these cultivars this year. This work is not easy or cheap. We started the path 6 years ago, and we're excited for the outcomes. We believe the PM work is a game changer for cannabis and provides another proof point of how impactful our genetics can be. In closing, our experience has shaped a clear playbook on how genetics can enable revenue and margin growth. Start with genetics designed for scale, build your cultivation systems to maximize the potential of those genetics, use disease resistance to reduce your risk, and protect and deploy IP strategically in regulated markets. In closing, facilities can be built, markets will evolve, genetics is the advantage that will compound over time. That is why it sits at the core of our growth strategy. Ultimately, this is how Aurora opens the world to cannabis by making high-quality, regulated products available reliably to patients globally. Thank you. Thank you.